Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, time for a little Wisdom Wednesday. Today I wanted to visit with you a little bit about progesterone. We've talked about estrogen, and of course this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as such wanted to do all that I could to help you understand it from our perspective. We want to do all we can from a preventive standpoint. But even if you are diagnosed with a breast cancer or a loved one is diagnosed with a breast cancer, I just wanted to reassure you that progesterone in particular has great benefits where that's concerned. So let's kind of walk through that a little bit. Progesterone, natural progesterone, has many qualities that are beneficial to the body. We know it protects against uterine cancer, but it also increases what we call breast cancer resistant proteins. And as such, there is a pathway through which progesterone works to actually help breast cancers go through their programmed cell death. So it actually enhances these types of proteins that can help elicit this programmed death for breast cancer cells. And that's a progesterone-driven type of reaction in the body. Progesterone also has protective benefits from a heart standpoint in terms of coronary artery disease. It can decrease plaque and lower foam cell formation, which is a plaque former. So it has some benefits from a coronary artery disease. It works synergistically with estrogen, meaning it works together with estrogen to help lower lipids, and especially the high-risk lipids, so that's beneficial. It also protects and helps us with bone health in terms of lessening our risk for osteoporosis. Our bone health is very much connected to our hormones. We know that estrogen can inhibit the resorption of bone, but progesterone works in conjunction with testosterone to actually lay down healthy bone. And that's why having a balanced program is very beneficial for bone health, and particularly for women who are struggling with bone loss. So progesterone has a very good benefit there. Now let's talk a little bit about why there's some confusion about progesterone and why you may have been told by other care providers that progesterone is not a good thing to take, even as far as breast cancer risk is concerned. And it comes down to semantics and the realization that progesterone, natural progesterone, does not carry risk. But the problem is that other care providers have always equated progesterone with the synthetic compounds called progestins. And when we look directly at the literature, specifically the Women's Health Initiative and other studies that had actually been done prior to that, when you add a progestin to an estrogen product in a hormone program, it does increase the risk for breast cancer. In the WHI, we saw it 26% increased risk. And that's why that study was ultimately abruptly halted. But when you look at every single study where progesterone, natural progesterone, has been added to estrogen in any of these studies, it is either a wash, meaning it does not increase the risk, or actually can slightly decrease the risk for breast cancer. And that's our ultimate goal, is protection and prevention. So if you have any questions about this, I think it's very important to get specifics on the difference between progestins and progesterone. And we know there's a huge difference. Just like there's a huge difference between estrogen and testosterone, although they look very much alike, they have very different properties in the body. We know that if you take away testosterone in a male during embryogenesis, if they cannot produce testosterone, that body will phenotypically look like a female without testosterone. So testosterone is very, very important in even just the formation of the normal sex organs in a male. And when you look at the molecules, estrogen and testosterone, they look very similar, just like if you look at the molecules of progesterone and medroxyprogesterone acetate, they look very similar. And medroxyprogesterone acetate is a progestin. And yet we see markedly different risk factors where that's concerned. And it's just troubling and frustrating when we have to rely on our professionals to advise us, and yet it's not always well understood, that difference. So hopefully I've enlightened you a little bit and you have some insight here. Just know that we're all about prevention here, and in our world it's very important for us, even for women who've had hysterectomies, I feel, to take progesterone, and I think it has some very powerful beneficial effects, particularly from a prevention standpoint. So hopefully I've answered some questions for you and explained a few things for you that you can easily understand. If you have any other concerns or questions, please feel free to email us back or call us. Happy to answer any other concerns or questions that you have. Go out, have a great day, and we'll talk again next week.